Welcome to the Wisdom of 21 Winning Women and Their Lessons. My name is Reverend Joy Dore, and I'll be your host today. The purpose of this summit is to empower, to inspire, educate women by showcasing the diverse experiences and wisdom of 21 accomplished women who have achieved success in their respective fields. The summit aims to create a platform for collaboration, learning, and networking, fostering a supportive community for women striving for excellence. Lastly, help women embrace their winning moments, regardless of how small or big, towards a successful and fulfilling life. And this time we are looking to empower, excel, embrace, and elevate. And in the studio today, hey guys, are you ready for this? Yes. In the studio today, we have one of our greatest coach. I love to see her. I love to follow her. I love to just see all, the time she take to pour out her heart to the people. And we have Vivienne Fam in the house. And she is, I will present her like this to you. You're watching, you want to know who our audience is today, right? Who our expert is today. Yes, our expert, because, we are here, want to hear from her and get all that she has for us. Vivienne Fam is not just a motivational speaker. She is a catalyst for transformation. That was my aha. Because, it's one thing you're motivational speaking in business, but when it comes to transformation, this lady got to your life, and that is why she's here. A life coach, empowering women to break free from the shackles of people pleasing and embrace their authentic selves. And as you guys know, we want you to embrace your winning moments. So with that said, I'm just going to open up and let our lady today tell us a little about herself or a lot about herself, how she ended, how she learned it, and everything about her. So Vivienne, we are happy to have you, and we're just going to let you introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you so much, Reverend Joy. I'm so excited to be here with you, and thank you so much for the introduction. So my story, I'll make it short. So I don't want to elaborate too much because that it will be too long to share my stories. So first of all, I am so grateful to be here with you all. As Reverend Joy was saying, I'm a life coach. I'm a women's empowerment advocate. I'm very big in women's empowerment. Why? Because I used to be that timid little girl. If you see that I'm able to be here speaking with you, it wasn't me before. I was very shy. Why was I shy? I'll tell you why. So few years back, when I was trying to achieve something, I feel that I always one of my feet was on the pedal, trying to be moving forward. At the same time, another feet was on the brake. I feel that something was holding me back. I didn't know why was that until I get on my personal development journey. I wanted to find out why. So I went back to find my defining moment. So I realized that when I was young, when I was in kindergarten. So back in the time, kindergarten at the time when I was a little girl, I was the first kid in the kindergarten wearing glasses. So I know that wearing glasses for young children nowadays was very common, right? So it wasn't a big deal. It is now. So I was the first kid wearing glasses at the time. I feel like people felt like, oh, why is this girl wearing glasses? Everyone was looking at her. Um, she just felt like she was an alien. Kids at the time. So as you know, young kid that wasn't thinking when they laugh at you, when they say something about you. But then it wasn't I was a young kid myself. I didn't know that they were just don't know. They were just curious, right? But they was making fun of me. 5 years old me was so it felt ridiculed because I was laughed by these kids. It's not only that I was the first kid wearing glasses. I was so chubby at the time. I was so fat at the time. So everyone was laughing at me. I feel like a clown. I didn't want to go to school. So I was crying every single day when I go to school. But at the time, I think there wasn't as much as like the thing emotion intelligence at the time, right? So maybe the teacher was an educate, the parents was an educate as well. So no one really go and ask you why are you crying or really deeply ask you. So until one day there was a teacher literally had enough of me crying every single day, right? So she came to me right in front of my face. She whacked a cane. I'm not sure if you did see a bamboo cane before, a real cane at my face. She said, "Shut up or I will smack you." So that was like the 5-year-old little me was like, it was horrified. I was so scared. I still can, even though I'm telling you now, I can feel that my body is reacting, right? Because I still can vividly remember the face of the teacher at the time telling me to shut up with that cane in front of me. So I literally from that day onwards, I zip my mouth. I'm not talking. I felt that I better don't make any crying, not to make any sound, or else I will be in trouble. So from that day onward, I became a timid little girl. I'm not crying. I'm not speaking as much. I was just quiet. I become silent. So that was my defining moment when I get on this personal development journey. I realized that I didn't want to make any mistake because people might come to tell me to shut up again. So I became a people pleaser. So in that way, I just everything that I do, every decision that I make, I'm waiting for people's approval. So I feel that was why it was holding me back. And not only that, it's not only impacting my own subconscious pattern. My subconscious patterns also impacting my children as well. When I realized my firstborn became someone who is shy and timid himself as well. At one stage, even his grade teacher thought that he had autism. Then I realized that he didn't have autism. I know that he just that being shy, he don't speak in front of people. I then realized that it is something that I need to really look into. I don't want to be that people pleasing anymore because it's not only impacting myself, but it's also impacting my children. I didn't want it to be bringing to the next generation. And that's how I got into personal development and I learned about all these the tribal cycle because it's all about us, right? When we are like this, it's going to bring to the next generation. So that's how I got into this journey and am so big on women's empowerment because I believe that we have to empower ourselves. We have to grow ourselves so that we can become a better role models for our children and also for those that we love.
Wow, wow, oh my God, that is so. And when we look at you these days, like in social media, you have so much energy, you're giving so much that if you never told that story, you really manage that decision. And I love it. I love it. Anyway, audience, we have the best coach in the house, and she just have, trust me, if she didn't tell that story, I wouldn't know. So if you're the person she's speaking to, there is still that place you can transform. So she's really an example of transformation. So, and that is going to bring me in your first question. I know you have touched it up a little, but I still want you to just narrow it to that lady, that woman who is listening, and her question is like this. Your focus on empowering women to break free from people pleasing is impactful. What personal experience or insight led you to become a catalyst for the specific transformation? And how do you guide women in embracing their authentic self?
Okay, so thank you so much for the question, Reverend Joy. So for myself, as I mentioned, I was used to be that people pleasing because every decision that I make is around waiting for people approval. I was so scared to voice out because I was so scared to be told, you are wrong, you're not right, don't mention anything, because my culture is more like, girls, don't be so loud. You try not to stand out. So as for myself, I have a coaching which is called Unleash Your Inner Lioness. Why? Because I believe that inside each and every one of us, there is this most real you, which I call the lioness. That's the most authentic you, where I believe that each and every one of us is a diamond, but we were covered in dust because, like I said, probably someone in real life, they're meant to be someone who is playful, or she is playful. But then because the parent told him or her that don't be so naughty, but she's meant to play, to learn. So my Unleash Your Lioness Within is actually a 7-step to unleash. So this is LIONESS. Do you want me to briefly tell you the 7 step is in the LIONESS?
You can, if it's something that you give out there for free, sure, you can let us know.
So
Yeah.
this is the 7th step. L is to let go, let go of our ego, because there is this story where someone go to look for to ask for advice. If you don't empty your cup, you won't be absorbing the thing that you meant to learn. So the first thing is let go of the ego, let go of the limiting belief that you have. The first one is letting go. I is your inner fire. You got to know, what do you really want deep down inside you? A lot of time we forgot about our dream, right? Maybe when we were young, we wanted to be a pilot. Maybe we want to be a model. We want to be a singer. But then when we grow up, we forget about our dream because someone told you that, oh, this is too hard for you. It's not meant for you because you are not pretty enough or something like that. We just ask yourself, what is you really want? And maybe go back to your inner child. Because that's the thing that we probably forget, right? We forget what is we really want. That's your inner fire. So all is on your shit, which is taking 100% responsibility of your life. Yeah, so that's the first thing that I learned when I got on my personal development journey. Because when we literally taking 100% responsibility of our life, we know that our happiness is not depends on others. We always look for external validation, which I used to do. I wish that the things that I'm doing is approved by someone. I wish that something that I do, because when we were young, we thought that we have to please our magical big people who are our parents, our teachers, and we as a child, we need to actually know that our kids actually love us more than themselves, right? So when we were young, we tried to do things that please our magical big people. So when we grow up, we know that we should know that we have the choice in our own hand. So when we know that the life and taking 100% responsibility of our life, to know that our happiness is within our choice, it's not from outside. So that the third one on your sheet, or taking 100% responsibility of your life. The end is nurturing yourself, to love yourself, right? We have to fill our cup first before we can pour out to others, especially for women. We probably take on so many roles in our life. We are parents, we are mom, we are daughters, but we just pour out our love to someone else. But then inside us, if you are empty, at the end of the day, you will get tired. So nurture yourself first. LIONEE, empower your confidence, empower your voice. Use your voice whenever you can. And like I say, the confidence part, how can we be more confident? I got the tools that allow us to tap into our talents, which is our strength. A lot of people, like I say, some people talents or their strength is meant to be playful, but then they were suppressing themselves. They wasn't happy. Some kids, they're meant to learn by playing, but then they might be sitting down, but they can't sit for too long. They want to play. But when you know that a kid meant to play by learn by playing, we can give them a different approach. And the same for us adults as well. When we are utilizing our talents or our strength at the right place, we take less effort, right? When we do things that we are confident with, we are good at, we will be feeling more confidence as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's empowering your confidence. And then as it strategize, we have to strategize. Like the first one, your inner fire. Where were you? Where were you now? And then where you want to go. So there is a gap. You have to work on the gap and you strategize from where you were to where you want to be. When you strategize it with the confidence that you have, with the strength that you apply at the right place, at the end, you will be soar with confidence. That where you can be that unstoppable lioness.
Telling you. And the good thing about this whole thing is it's just information, which is the key to our greatest. Because by the time you unpack all this information and have them, I imagine you doing this interview right now, and it's really lining up for today. Because I was telling myself, imagine when you are in an environment that you hear something over and over and over for the next, let's say, 12 months. The way you speak, the way you behave is going to be different. So who you were, let's say December last year, and you change your environment to who you want to be, like you haven't been that person yet, but you want to be like, let's say Vivienne. And now you decide, okay, I'm going to watch Vivienne every day. I'm going to follow up what she's doing. What you're doing is like unleashing that power within you. And now at the end of 12 months, following her every day, you're going to see yourself even sound like her, attract the energy like her. This is just, and that knowledge is the key to the taking off. And I'm so happy for that. Thank you so much. And once again, I'm thanking all of you who are our audience today. We have in the house and one of the powerful coach. Let me tell you something, transforming ourselves from, wasn't speaking to now with all that she's doing. Hey, wait till she tell you how you're going to follow her, because that will bless you. That will bless you. So I have a next question that somebody might be asking right now. And the question goes like this. As a motivational speaker, you have a platform to inspire change. Can you share a powerful moment where your message resonated with an audience, and what themes or principles were particularly, what did you use to encourage women to embrace their authenticity, principles, something like that. I don't know if you get it.
Okay. So, as in the speaking, recently I was sharing in one of the speaking club where I share my stories about that 5 years or little ago. That was me, right? And I feel that they came to me and they told me that it's resonating with them, because most of the people that I think a lot of people experience this.
Yes.
So it's about it's more like sharing my experience. When I'm speaking, it's my real experience, something that I experienced before. So I believe that with this experience, it's resonating with them because when we were young, we did have that experience where people, when they were young, they wasn't understood or they wasn't heard. Especially for my culture, I'm not sure about your culture, but then our culture is that like when we were young, we wasn't really hurt by our adults because they just told that, okay, just be that good girl, as in the good girl. At the time, we were told to be that good girl, right? To behave yourself.
A lot
Don't,
of us. Yeah.
yes. So that's how I get resonate with my audience or listener. And also, if you did mention Reverend Joy about who I was a year before. One line that was always mentioned by Tony Robbins is that we underestimate what we can do in 10 years, but overestimate what we achieve in like 1 year. So we have to we just have to keep practicing. And a lot of time we have that some people might have that which is something called I have that in mind and then I just have that blank moment. So it's about that imposter syndrome. Yeah. So I used to think that people are so good. People like maybe doing so good in the area that they are good at, no matter speaking or coaching. But then we have to realize that people, when you see them, how good they were on stage, they have been working so hard prior to that. I'm not sure if they did see a pictures of the iceberg. We only see the tip of the iceberg. But at the bottom of the water, there is whole lots of things or whole lots of efforts that people has been put together or they have been through in order for them to be where they were. So my message for the women out there is that sometimes we can't be so rushed at where we want to be. We just need to take one small step at a time. When we just have to, we don't compete with anyone else. Who we compete with is ourselves. We just need to be better than the last year version of ourselves. Don't compare yourself with others. Just compare with you. Were you better than last year? Were you better than last week? If you are on the track.
Wow, this is huge. I don't know if you guys are picking what Coach Vivienne is putting down. Make sure that you're picking what she's putting down because this is something that can really transform your life. Like 12 months, I never see 12 months from now as clear as I've seen the last 29 days in my life and what you can really achieve on your own pace or on a coach pace, depending on where you want to work from. Some coach, they're going to stretch you. Some are going to give you something that's going to take you from one step to the other. But I want you to see life like 12 months from now, who do I want to be? And the only way from Coach Vivienne today, you're going to get to that place is if you start doing that thing now. You can do it bad, you can do it rough, you can do it, imperfect, but just do it. It doesn't matter how you do it. As the more you do it, the more you get to where you want to be. And that is going to be like a commercial I'm going to throw at you right now. What motivated you to do the 100 days challenge you're doing on your Facebook group? Someone like, where did that come from? I want you to tell us, everybody watching, like, what motivated you and what has been keeping you up to be accountable to just keep doing it? What do you want to get at the end of the day? Are you seeing improvement to whatever area that made you launch that 100 days event that you're doing every day on social media?
Oh, wow. I have goosebumps when you ask me this question. So the 100 days challenge that you see is actually only a small portion of my video challenge. So people might be thinking, oh, Vivienne is so good to be so motivated to post this video every single day. People might be thinking, oh, Vivienne, she can speak well, which I think I wasn't well because I always think that English wasn't my first language. But what I do is that, like I say, I used to be that timid little kitty to a lion. So what I was thinking now is that I don't give an F to what people think of me. Even though I have all these grammatical mistakes, sometimes I'll still do it as long as you understand me, as long as I express myself. And what I was doing is that I think from the listener point of view. If one person listening to my message, if they get something out of it, I think that I've done my job. Even just one person listening to one message. I know that some people, maybe they're not commenting, maybe they don't press like or anything, but they listen. Because sometimes people will come to me, they never comment, but they come to me, private message me and say, oh, your message is resonate with me. You motivate me to do some exercise. You make me feel like I want to do exercise as well. That's where I feel that, oh, I feel so motivated. That keep me going. And another thing is that when I did say that the 100 days is actually one portion of my video challenge, my videos actually started many, many years back when one of my friends told me about 30-day video challenge. I still remember the first time when I trying to do a Facebook Live. I was sitting there with my phone. I can literally feel that my armpit was sweating, whether for me to press that go live button or not. I said, should I press it? Should I not press it? It took me so long. I think it took me a few days for me to really press that go live button. And once I get that go live button, the first one was so clunky or whatever. It's like, I didn't even know. I didn't want to look back at my first video. It was so funny. It was like, I don't want to look at it. It's so awkward. But it's all about the images or the vision that we create in our mind that hold us back from doing it. It's always the 0 to 1 that was so scared. But once you start the first one and you just feel that it wasn't that bad at all, right? It wasn't that you won't explode on the ground by doing that. So once you start the first one, gradually you get better and better. So it's what I always tell my clients or my listener is that it's all the false image that we're creating in our mind. It might be thinking people might be laughing at us for my English, for my hair or whatever. But people are so busy worrying about themselves, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's one of my mentor is saying this is called a spotlight syndrome. Whenever we walk, we feel like there is a spotlight on us. People thinking, oh, maybe you have a good hair or not. But in actual fact, people don't have the time to worry whether you have good hair or not, whether you have any bad English or not. They're worrying about themselves. But if your message came across to them and it helped one person, I feel so motivated to do it. It's always the 0 to 1. Once you step out of that comfort zone, you get your comfort zone expanded.
I like what you just dropped. You call it spotlight syndrome, right?
Yes.
I love that. First time. I love that. And learning and hearing, oh my God, just one person she's doing that for. Even if it's just one person, you have to make up your mind this year, I will celebrate all my wins, regardless of how small, regardless of how big, but I'm going to daily improve myself. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to follow I'm going to I'm going to just put all my mind on this, because imagine watching this interview a year from now as we keep on doing it. All of us keep on growing together. You're like, okay, look at how she sound in January next year and look at how she sound that day. I'm just saying, okay, something happened because of consistency, and just keep doing it, because the more you do, the more you get better. And trust me, you've been a blessing. And I really want to thank you for coming once again. And also ask you, for people who want to work with you, who want to connect with you, who want to do what you do, where will they find you? And tell us a little about the free gift that you have for our audience today.
Okay, so you can easily find me on Facebook, LinkedIn. I have a YouTube as well, and just search Vivienne Fam, and then you should be able to find me on this platform. So that's I'll give you the link as well. If Reverend Joy can include the link for them, that would be great. And then like I say, I work with my clients. Most of them are on one-on-one. So if they want to work with me, I am happy to offer your listener like 30 minutes free strategy call with them.
Awesome.
Yeah, to let them know briefly about what are their strengths. And from there, and I will, if they want to work with me more, I can work with them on how to utilize their talents or strengths so that they can feel empowered and to be more confident in their life and in whatever area they feel like.
As you say that, something just dropped in my spirit for that audience that is still like you before you actually finally began to develop your strength. But what you did was manage your weaknesses so that your weaknesses will not manage you anymore, which is what he has done over the years. I will manage this lady. She thinks she's nothing. I'm just going to make her be quiet. But now you said, no, I don't want this to affect the next generation. It's no longer me. That's one of the things I realized with all our, accomplished winning women. They came to the point in their life that they weren't the center of the focus anymore. So there was no more selfishness in this. I'm going to help my generation. So a lady is watching now, and, to summarize the day, and they are there where you were before you had the turning point, because every one of us need that turning point. Let's say they're your client right now, and after listening to them, you realize this was me before I had my pivot moment. What will you tell them as you conclude?
So I would say that be like you mentioned a few times, ask yourself, who do you want to be? Because you have to know who do you want to be, and you become that person. Like you say, I don't want to be, I want to be someone, be a good role model for my children. Then you work backward. What do I need to do in order for me to get to who do I want to be? And then it's a be, do, have model. You have to be, then you be, do, and do it, then you have what you want. So whatever that is, ask yourself this question: who do you want to be? And another thing is that silence is one of the things that a lot of us forget to do nowadays because of this world that is so crazy. Everyone is so busy. But take some time to either do meditation or just sit there quietly, because then you will realize that there is a small voice inside you that tell you, maybe, Vivienne, is this really what you want? Is that who you want to be? Pick up that small voice in your head and maybe jot it down. Journaling is a good thing, and I always tell people to do write down, because when you write down, you declutter your mind. You put everything on paper. You see that, oh, maybe this is not really what I want. Maybe I'm not happy, but why is that? What are the things that I'm looking for? So that's some of the message that I really wanted to give to other women out there. Pick up that small voice in your head.
Who do you want to be? As you mentioned Tony a while ago, I was like, he always, have that hard time when he put people on hot seat and ask them, what do you do? Why should people buy from you? And they are all over the place. They don't even really know, what they do or who they are. So you just drop something that can pick up somebody and take them to the next level, which is, who do you want to be? And make sure to listen to that inner you. And there's something you said before we wrap up. I'm just going to let you know. It's just something you said that adults are missing these days. And what is that? That small lion, that thing you used to do when you were young, that was bringing you so much joy. And as fear come in, we tend to forget everything about that joy we had as a child, because somebody just, used that stick and hush us up, or use words or bully or things like that, or life happened. And that is how a lot of women stay that place. But our coach is calling you today, don't stay there. Ask yourself a very powerful question. Who do you want to be? And once you get that answer, make a conscious decision to manage your strength that's going to lead you to who you want to be. That will be it. I just want to, thank the audience. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to tune into the next interview. And as well, remember, March 6, 7, 8, our experts are going to be on to actually answer you, with all that burning question you're going to have. Like, hey, Vivienne, how can you do this? So how did you come on that day? Just, look out for the email, make sure you're there so that you can get your question answers. And with that, we just want to say thank you and bye-bye for now.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.